Hi, so this is Moon. He is my 15-year-old thoroughbred gelding. I use him for lessons and he does jump. He's a jumper. I've owned him for about coming up on 8 years now, and I'm also almost certified as an equine massage therapist, so I've been working on him a little bit. I know some of his weak points, but I just want to walk around and kind of show you those weak points. And typically he tends to be a little bit more sore in his weaker areas after he jumps, and he jumped yesterday, so I do anticipate him being a little more sore today. He does get equiox, he gets his front fat locks injected, and what else? Oh, he did have a surgery back in March. He had an elective surgery to get a mass removed on his colon that we found. So he's been getting back into work. He still needs some more fitness. He needs more top line, he needs more weight. He's a thoroughbred. He takes a while to put the weight on with his metabolism. I'm gonna walk him back and forth first so you can see it. Then I'm gonna trot him around a little bit so we can also look at that. So yeah. Good boy. Good boy. So one thing that I like to note about him is he does drag his back feet. He drags his right hind toe more than his left. When he wakes up and he's picking his feet up, it's better. It also has improved drastically with the massages. This guy's probably got about 4 or 5 massages now, and it has improved a lot. That toe drag, but you can really see it when he's like turning. He kind of just drags both feet around. If he like wakes up and actually picks up his feet, it's not as bad. But even like towards the end of his shoeing cycle, which I'll put a clip in here. I took a video for one of my massage assignments a while ago. It was right like the day before he got his feet done. You can really see how he squares off his toe, so I'll put that clip in as well. But yeah, I'm gonna trot him too, then you can get a better view of how he trots. So the right hind, you can see that he drags. He gets his feet done tomorrow, and you can see that he kind of squares his toe. Oh my gosh, my dog just walked underneath him. He kind of squares his toe off in the front. If you can see it, it's flat right here. But this is kind of what he looks like at the end. It used to be a lot worse. It's definitely gotten better. I mean, he would almost completely shave down the front of his shoe. But this is what he looks like at the end of. He's on a 5-week schedule, so. That one gets a little bit squared too, but not as bad as the right hind. All right, so here's him walking. You can also see that he overreaches with his hind legs. Come on, Mooney. Walk. Good. All right, let's trot. 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 Good. You can kind of see the toes dragging in the back. Like I said, it's gotten a lot better. Good boy. I guess he's gonna circle. Little toe dragging, you can see he even leaves a mark in the sand where he drags his toes. Good boy, like you can see that here. See how he's dragging his back toes on the ground? So that's one thing to note about him as well. I'm gonna go the other way. Some turning around, trot. Good boy. Just dragging those toes. Trot, trot, trot. Good boy. Kind of see it there. He tracks narrow behind too. He definitely tracks a little bit narrow with his hind feet. They kind of go run one in front of the other like this, rather than just tracking straight. Going to try to get him to canter. Come on, canter. Good. Oh wow, we're wild. His canter, he picked up his feet at the canter, so you can see that it's not nearly as bad with the toe drag at the canter. Like once he gets going, it's better. So usually with him, like I said, when he's moving forward, he's picking his toes up a lot better. He's not doing this toe drag. You can see how he's dragging his toes. Hopefully you can see that. And then the canter, he doesn't really drag his toes. He's pretty good there. But once his muscles are warmed up and he gets moving, he picks up his feet a lot better. And I'll show you some of his stress points, palpations, which I've done before because, like I said, I'm almost certified as a massage therapist. I wanted to do the kinesiology course just because I think it'd be a great supportive therapy. So I'm going to grab him and I'm going to go through the stress points and the joint dysfunction palpations so we can look at that. Okay, I'm going to go through his stress points in his body and we can see where he is hurting. Huh? Can't hear you. I'm filming a video for my kinesiology class. Ready? Okay. So first I'm going to go through and I'm going to check his TMJ. I'm going to check some of his cranial bones, see if we have any sensitivities there. Hi. His right TMJ, a little bit reactive, a little bit reactive. He does need his teeth done. He doesn't have any clicking on that side. No clicking on that side. I'm going to go through and just see if he's, come here baby. I'm going to go through and see if he's just reactive on any of his cranial nerves. Good boy. Check these nasal bones. Good boy. We'll check his pole. That's good. Now he did just get chiropracted and his pole was out. So that's definitely an improvement because he used to react there. Good boy. Let me switch him to the side so you can see this. Okay, buddy. Alright. Going through the stress points along his neck. So his upper muscles, the rectus capitis stress point, the splenius cervicus stress point. We'll check his brachiocephalic muscle, his omohyoid, his pectorals, his nuchal ligament. I like to just go along there too, see if there are any sensitivities. A little sensitive there. Good boy. He does get a little bit girthy. I know that he's sensitive in his pecs, so that's something I've been working on, and it is improving. It used to be a lot worse. It's improving, and then he carries some tension in his his upper neck area too. Gonna move down his back. Check his trapezius. Check his upper and lower triceps. A little sensitive in here. Check his extensor and flexors. Good through there. I know he's not gonna like this. Yeah, he's sensitive there in his pecs. I'm not gonna push him too much, but don't upset him. I already knew that. I knew that was an issue. Check his withers. We used to be bad here. We were having a saddle fit issue, but that has gotten a lot better. Now here's where typically, yeah, I see that reaction. I don't know if you can see that, but he just flinched when I was pushing on this lower back right. He's long in the back, for starters, conformationally. He is long in his back. He carries a lot of tension here, kind of right behind his 18th rib when you start into the lumbar vertebrae, along the longissimus there. Come here, baby. Good boy. He carries tension in there. He's always been sensitive right here. This has always been a sore area. It's very tight. I've had my vet put the thermal camera on him and he lacks blood flow in that area. So this is probably a huge reason that he's dragging that right toe. It used to be a lot worse. With the massages, it's definitely gotten better. And I think taping it too, K-taping it and like mechanically lifting up that area, getting the circulation better in there, and also just minimizing the pain when it's just, you know, those pain receptors aren't firing as much. I think that will really help him. Come here, love. Good boy. gonna check his gluteal muscles. His iliacus, his biceps femoris. All these feel pretty good. He's tight through here. Check his semitendinosus. Good boy. I know. I'm gonna check his extensor and flexor muscles in his right hind leg, but since he keeps moving, I'm just gonna check it. I'll let you know if I find anything. He definitely has to pee. He has to pee. So he's a little bit impatient, but everything back there felt good. The muscles are tight. Also, there's a little bit of muscle atrophy at the top of his gluteal muscles, so I'll show you that too. But I'm gonna check his stress points on the left side now too. He's carrying a little bit of tension up here, but not as bad as the right side. A little bit tight in there, in this splenius muscle, omohyoid. Yeah, I know he's sensitive on his pecs. Good boy. Definitely a lot better. He used to like get really angry and try to kick me, so we're definitely improving, which is great. Check his trapezius, his triceps. Check his extensor and flexors right here. Those are good. I'm gonna come back to check his pecs because I don't want him to move right now. Check his back through here. This all feels good. Yeah, sensitive through here. I don't know if you can see him reacting too. This lower back, right when you get into the lumbar area, he's very sensitive there. Check his ribs, his oblique, his adductor. A lot of this is improved. I'm seeing a lot of improvements from the first time that I palpated him. Good boy. Check his semitendinosus, semimembranosus, his gastrocnemius, his flexor extensors over here. That's all good. Now I'm going to check his pecs. He's a little bit reactive, but it's a lot better. I actually have a couple more videos on this channel of me doing palpations on him, and you can see how like angry and sensitive he was. So it's actually really, really great to do this again and see how much he's improved. This is awesome. I'm going to change my angle and I'm going to go through and do my joint palpations. He used to really lack range of motion in his knees, and it's gotten a lot better. He had a lot of tightness in his shoulders and his flexor extensor muscles, and I've been loosening that up, and it's a lot better. Like he almost has 100% range of motion back in his knees. Check this while he's standing right here. Hopefully you can see. Come here. So this is pretty good. It's almost there, not 100%, but we're almost there. Like his fetlock, elbow. And we're gonna check the shoulder. And while I'm at it, I'm gonna check C7. I see good motion in there. I already checked his TMJ. I'm gonna check his cervical vertebrae. Make sure I got good motion. Good boy. A little tight in his cervical vertebrae. But he's also tight in his right neck, so those are probably related. I'm going to check his withers and his vertebrae and the thoracic spine. He's definitely tight and a little sensitive through there. Good movement through there. A little tight in the lumbar area. Doesn't really love that. Good boy. I'm going to check his back leg. I'm going to check his fetlock, hock, stifle, and hip back here. Hock's pretty good. Hold this. I'm going to check his stifle. Got good motion. Down moon. Check his hip. Doesn't love that. He's a little sensitive in there. A lot of that in a right hind, right lower back is probably pretty related to each other. And check the other side. Come here, buddy. Come here. Boy. Check his cervical vertebrae through here. Got good motion. Check his fetlock, knee, elbow, and shoulder. The fetlocks are okay. He gets injected. Knee is almost full range of motion. It's definitely improved. Elbow is good. Shoulder is good. Wheel up. Check C7. That's good. Check his withers. I knew he was sensitive in here. A little bit better on this side than the other side. Check his vertebrae. A little bit pretty good through there, through this area. It's a little tighter through here. Yeah, he doesn't love that. Doesn't love that. All right, I'm just gonna go through and check everything through this hind leg. His fetlock, check his hock, check his stifle and his hip. It's all pretty good. He's a little bit less range of motion in his hocks, but it's not bad. I mean, he's 15. He could probably get his hocks injected. It's not something I'm super concerned about. I'll check his tail. Boy. I'm also gonna check his adductors and abductors. Abductors are good. That one's a little bit not as stable, but when I palpated it, he got a little angry. So that used to be a big problem for him. It's definitely improving. It's improving. Used to be a lot angrier, but yeah. So what I would probably do as far as taping is tape his lower back bilaterally. So I would probably go from like right behind where the saddle is, like right behind the 18th rib, over his like longissimus gluteal junction, and like on each side of the lumbar vertebrae. And then I would probably go to past his like PSIS, and then I would anchor right behind there. So let's go up to the barn and we'll do that. So as luck would have it, my video of doing his vitals got deleted, or I forgot to record, or something happened with that. So I'm refilming it now. Moon is here, and I can also give an update on his tape while I'm at it, so that works too. So first I'm gonna check his hydration by doing the skin pinch test. So I'm just gonna find an area where let me go to this side, because he's bent this way. So I want his skin to bounce back just like that. You know, he could even be a little bit dehydrated, because see how it's kind of just like not super elastic. So I'll probably get some electrolytes in him and make sure he's drinking water. It's cold today, so he's probably not drinking as much. Good boy. Also gonna look at his eyes. His eyes look good. They're not goopy. They're not, hi Moon. They're not goopy. They're not swollen. They're not draining any fluids. So that all looks very good. Hi. I'm gonna need 2 hands for this. Yeah. His gum color, it's nice and pink. Capillary refill time is nice and quick, just a couple seconds. And then I'm also check his respiration. I usually use my phone for this, and I like set a timer on my phone, and I see how many breaths I get in 15 seconds, and then I multiply that by 4, so it's 60 seconds. So I don't have to sit there for a minute and like see how many breaths I'm getting. So I just see how many breaths are in 15 seconds, and then I do the math, and his resting heart rate should be like 8 to 16, maybe 8 to 12 breaths per minute. It shouldn't be any higher than that, but it'd be higher obviously with working, but he's been standing in a stall, so it shouldn't be high. So there's a little stopwatch on top of my phone right here, so I'm gonna look at that while I see how many breaths he's taking in a minute. And I'm just gonna let him smell my hand first, so he's not breathing weird when I put my hand here, and then I'm just gonna count. So he took 2 breaths there in 15 seconds, and multiply that by 4, and that's 8 breaths per minute, which is totally fine for resting heart rate. I mean, resting respiratory rate. So that's all good. Also, an update on his tape. So I put this on Friday. Today is Monday. It's actually Christmas. Merry Christmas. And he's had his blanket on and took it off today because it's a little warmer. And warmer, I say that, you know, it's still like 45 degrees, but it's been worse. He rolled, so he's kind of rolled a lot of this off, but it stayed on for a few days and it stayed on through a couple rides, so I was pretty happy with that. But I'm gonna go ahead and take it off today because it's starting to peel off. All right, I don't know if you can see me here. Hopefully you can. But I have a couple different types. I don't have the like 4-inch Big Daddy, which would be ideal for this. But the Vetkin one is like, it's decently wide, this one. So I'm gonna use this one to tape with, and then my local tack store has Equitape, and I'm just gonna use this as my anchors because it's what I have. Just not really in the budget to buy a bunch of different tapes right now. Once I start working, it will be. And then I would like the non-stick scissors, but I don't have any right now, so I'm just using some regular scissors. But ideally, I would do this with the Big Daddy tape, and then I would just anchor it with like the 4-inch Big Daddy, the rock tape, or the Vetkin one, and then I would anchor it with just 2-inch pieces. But this area shouldn't have too much of an issue staying on, because it's not like a joint that he's moving a ton. So I am just gonna measure, probably from about here to right. He has a little bit of a hunter's bump too. I don't know if you can see that. I'm gonna go from right behind the 18th rib to about right behind that little hunter's bump that he has. So these scissors get the job done for now. I need 2 pieces, so I just remeasure. This down. I'm gonna round out the edges so it doesn't snag on anything, and hopefully it'll just stay on a little bit better. Even. And I already prepped the area with rubbing alcohol. I just cleaned off all the dust with that. I find that works pretty well. For the back, unless maybe you have a horse with like oily skin, I probably wouldn't use adhesive spray. I think it stays on pretty well on the back. I will say he's a little bit fluffy right now. Like, I prefer his coat to be a little bit less fuzzy because it's December, so he's just growing back. His hair's growing back from a clip. If he wasn't about to leave on a leash, I would clip the area, but he's about to leave on a leash, so we'll see how well this sticks. Ideally, I would clip the area, but not right now. And I'm just doing paper off stretch. I'm not pulling. I'm not going to add any more stretch into it. So I'm just going to tear it right here, like so. It's going to go right here. Get back with the stick. Good. Just really going to rub this as I put it down. So right here is where he has a little bit of muscle atrophy in this area, but he's also has lack of blood flow here. I probably could have gone a little bit straighter, but I'm not mad. Just going this way a little bit. It could also help this area because this is also tight. But you can see here, he's a little fuzzier, so it's not sticking down as well. I'm going to anchor it here, so hopefully that will help. We'll go around and do the other side. Again, hopefully you can see, just tearing at the base, like so. Just gonna paper off tension. That's it, not adding. Just really, it's helpful when he drops his head because I can see better what I'm doing. Right through there. Good boy. So you see here too where he's a little fuzzier. It's not really stretching, but it's not really sticking, but it's still lifting the hair. So at least it has that mechanical aspect to it. But I'm gonna put an anchor right here. Over here it's sticking pretty good. I'm gonna put an anchor, so hopefully that helps it stay. This is the 2-inch version of Equitape. I think I like the Vetkin more. This sticks okay, but it works for anchors. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna measure across right here, and cut. I'm gonna measure across right here to add a couple anchors in there. Go from here to about there. I'll measure the other anchor in just a minute. Gonna round out these edges. Again, I'm not adding any stretch here, just paper off tension. Gonna tear it here at the base. And here. Oh, stuck a little better. No way. Over here. Yeah, it's not sticking really great right here. Like I said, his hair is a little bit too long. It would probably stick better if I clipped him, but like I said, he's about to leave on a lease. It's pretty cold here in Georgia. It's about to get colder, so don't really want to do that right now. Moon also tends to get cold and feel colicky, so, you know, clipping right now is just not a great option for him. Now I'm gonna measure. I might need to stand on something for this. Yeah. I'm gonna measure and I'm gonna anchor the top. The top is sticking better, but hopefully if I anchor it, it'll stay even longer. About right here. Still gonna round the edges. And then again, I'm just tearing at the base. I like to fold this back a little bit so it doesn't get stuck. And then all right. It's still coming up a little bit. His hair is just a little too long, but I will get a closer angle for you. Okay, here it is on his back. Got these two strips along his longissimus gluteal junction and right kind of over the PSIS. This is where he has a lot of tightness and a lot of sensitivity on both sides, so hopefully that helps with the pain and it helps with the circulation. And then I got my two anchors. As you can see, they're just not sticking that great here, but it's still lifting the hair, so it's still lifting the skin, which is good. I want that. But yeah, his hair is just a little bit too long for this right now, but hopefully through here it's sticking pretty good, so that should at least help.